Alright, hello, and welcome back to some more racing in the Indian Racing League Division 2 at Circuit for Record. And sorry for just that slight lapse of attention there in the commentary. I was just checking, doing a quick audio check if all my audio controls are fine, which they are, and I'm just waiting on my co-commentator to send me a party invite so that we can both of us can give you a good show of commentary along with 18 other drivers who would definitely give us a good show of racing, as it fairly looks like a dry qualifying session. Not sure what the kind of weather is during the race. But Chips, if you are tuning in onto the stream, I'm still waiting on that party invite from you. So I haven't gotten any invite. Alright, let me just quickly do a check. He says he has sent me an invite. Alright, yes, he has. Now I do have it. Chips, can you hear? Chips, can you hear me? Hopefully, Chips should be able to join and hear us, and you all would also be able to hear him very soon. As
Hello.
Hi Chips. I hope your audio sharing settings are also good, and you want to do a quick check whether you are audible on the screen.
Yes,
As I am
I shall be
on
doing
board.
so right away.
Yep, I am on board with Sid Venkatesh, and why don't you take us through the rest of the lap? He just finished sector 1 and going down there, and then maybe we can
If
pick
you
up a
could
little.
just check if I'm audible. So as he
Yep,
enters
let me
this
do that.
chicane, he has kept the car under control throughout most of the lap, and as he ends sector 2, I think he's going to be the first car to cross the line. I think so. There is some slow-moving traffic ahead of him, so I hope they get out of the way. There's an Alpine of Wicked Wiki. No, that's not Wicked Wiki. That's Ramen. So Ramen, who was a very strong contender the past few races, is right there on track. But Sid going through this final section. Abhishek meanwhile has had a lap time good enough for provisional pole with a 1:31.0, but it is highly possible that Sid could displace him. As he entered the final corner, there was a bit of a lift off there. I'm not sure if that was just loss of traction or maybe just trying a different line through there. But DRS open, run up to the line, and Sid goes P3 with a 32.2. So he's currently P3 behind Shrikant Das. It's an alright banker, but I think he would be yearning for more.
Yep, indeed, there is definitely these. This is just the first part of qualifying. All these drivers just trying to put in certain kind of banker laps, as Rev King should be the next driver who should be crossing the line, and
Yeah.
probably not the best of times. I think he was a bit squirrely at the exit. Let's see where he puts himself. That's a
That was P3.
1:31.0. Yep, a good time from him, a
Look at
reserve
the gap
driver
between the
here.
top three.
Yep, that is. Oh, that
Seven
is
hundredths.
indeed, and that just reminds me of. It looks like a eSports qualifying grid, and I'm not sure if you just saw that qualifying session of F1 Esports Championship around the circuit of Netherlands, but it was definitely a very close one in the top three, or the top four rather. I think Freddie Rasmussen a tenth away. The top four were within a tenth of each other, but nonetheless, and then there's a huge gap that falls up to P4. But expect that gap to come down definitely. As let's see, is there any other driver who is crossing the line?
There's an AlphaTauri who's just crossed the line. I think that just started his lap. That's Smith.
Oh, Smith
Alright,
has
so people are.
invalidated his lap. I think he's
Yeah,
invalidated.
they're
He's
doing
got
it to
that
do
last corner invalidation. I'm
race
not
runs, I
very
think.
sure. Oh yeah,
Yeah, I
probably
think
that can
it's.
also be the case. To
So the
see how.
case with France is also that we have one of the slowest pit lanes in all of the sport. So we don't tend to see too many runs on a single set unless you are. Well, it is give or take, hit or miss with maybe doing multiple runs on a single set of tires. What do you think? Do you think that's a sensible thing to do, going on multiple laps?
I don't think I mean, in my experiences, typically the very next lap that you do, there are two reasons. You are carrying a lot of fuel load, more than the minimum fuel load. That is, will also cost you time. And B, then tire degradation
Oh,
is high, and wear
we
is
have a
also
Red
high. Did you
Bull
catch something?
spinning. Yeah, Spandan is not having a good time. He's the last time I was on board with him, he was also off track, and I think he's not having a good time.
Oh,
He's
yep.
spinning around like he's Nikita Mazepin, and he's in the pit lane. All right, so no one on a lap right now. No, even Swagboy has invalidated. So we have a couple of drivers prepping for their out laps. One of whom is Redstone Derp, one of
And
the
also,
fastest drivers around. Very slow moving Alpine of Ramen. Why is he driving so slow?
okay, Wicked
I think his
Vicky
tire
has
temp.
started a lap, so just take
Yeah,
us through
as
this
is
one
Redstone.
full lap for the
All right.
viewers.
So yeah.
Chips.
Okay. So approaching turn 3, Wicked Vicky. All right, taking an aggressive line through there, and this is a turn where we're going to monitor track limits, I think. But this is the end of sector 1, and he has set a time of 22.6, which I'm not sure how it compares to other people's times because I'm not been able to see anybody else. But yeah, DRS open down the Mistral back straight. It's I think it's going to be a very popular overtaking place come the race. But yeah, into the chicane, and all right, that's well navigated by him, and I think he's getting good traction. He seems to be in control of his car, and well, I think he's on a very rapid lap. He could be looking to displace at least. He could be looking to enter into the top 3, but through this fast right-hander, he goes very deep into that corner. Oh, that was. Yeah, it is common to go a bit deep in that corner. Actually, any entry is right over there, but yeah, he seems to be taking this sector a bit differently, a bit unorthodox, but it might pay off for him. Through this last section of corners, penultimate corner, he is gonna stick close to the apex, and he has a bit of a snap there, which causes him to invalidate his lap. That is not gonna work out whatsoever for him, but as he crosses the line, it's a provisional time of 1:31.2, which would have got him P4, I believe. But of course, because he's invalidated, it won't stand.
Yep, a lot of drivers on the outlap here. Redstone Derp, who was on an on a hot lap, has invalidated his lap. So has Raman.
Oh, I saw McLaren sideways. That's Redstone. Yeah, he's also not having a good time. So it's a bit of a challenge here for everyone. Swagboy on an outlap. We have the bottom 4 on an outlap, apart from Abdul. Yeah, well, it's hard to follow action. There are invalidation going on here, left, right, and center. But Kalyan has just started his lap. Has anybody else on a lap? And Kalyan has spun.
Just spun at the, and he has both the Mercedes spinning in formation there. So I think the other Mercedes driver of Captain Chandu just got a bit distracted as Smith Shah is riding without a front wing as
Spun.
well. So
It is, I think, just on his way back to the pits. He's
yep.
obviously not going to get any representative running. But Spandan is about to start his lap. Yeah, I think he just finished his out lap, and we saw Spandan going in circles a few moments ago, and already had to lift through turn 2. That's not lift a lot through turn 2, which is obviously not very helpful to his cause. But I believe we saw a podium from Spandan. I'm not very sure. I've not been able to keep track for the last week. But yeah,
Even
nonetheless,
I'm not very
I don't
sure,
know. Maybe
but
I'm just
one
too much
thing
praise.
to
But
watch out
yeah,
for, look out on Spandan is he's had some tremendous race starts. That's there. He just has been able to really nail those race starts and claw up as many positions as he can in that whatever advantage that he gets. As Oxidize is looks like he's come back into the pitch. It's pretty much a lull
yeah,
period I see whenever I go on someone who's on a hot lap. I just see a red track map, and
yeah.
that just is probably is that a. Oh, there are two cars fairly very close, Thakurva and another McLaren. So I think think
Well,
hopefully
one
this.
driver who has kept it within track limits is Spandan, who's about to finish his lap through the penultimate corner. His lap seems to have hooked up quite well in the second phase of the lap, but through the final corner, that was a bit of an acute entry which which compromised his exit slightly. But run up to the line, he is gonna net himself P7. A second off Abhishek's, but still impressive considering that most others have not even been able to set a representative lap as of now.
Yep, and that's just completing my thought
Just to
right there.
mention,
Yep,
look at
yep,
the
go.
clouds.
Yep, there are clouds coming, so a bit of overcast. I do see there's a lot of sunshine in the start finish straight as well, Chip. So probably we might just not have any wet session during the qualifying, but it'll be interesting to see what kind of a weather the race holds, and also something interesting to see during the race would be what kind of penalties do these drivers accumulate or
Yeah.
not accumulate, because there have been so many invalidations, but drivers of course going pushing their limits in the quali, trying to nail that one lap, while they have certainly a different mindset when it comes to the race. But let's find out the pace
We have
spread. The field
Redstone on a
spread
lap.
is, or a decent field spread is somewhere around a second, more than a second. So let's see what this is qualifying
Oh,
pace.
we have
What kind of a race pace do we have? A lot of cars
uh,
bundling up in the final corner.
they're all prepping for the laps, but somebody who's on a lap is Redstone, who had a bit of a moment as he ended sector 1 there. But yeah, down the back straight, it really looks like it's gonna rain. At least to me, it looks like we're gonna see a bit of rogue raindrops in the last few moments of qualifying. Redstone is really going aggressive. He almost lost control accelerating
Yeah,
off that curve, but he is setting good lap times. He, as of now, doesn't have a lap time because he invalidated his previous run. But yeah, going through this final sector, that is too wide, I think. Wide Abhishek's goes faster, but is still within Oxidize is still within touching range, and Redstone, yeah, his lap has been slightly compromised. Let's see what he decides to do. Is he gonna come back in or is he gonna finish the lap? He is gonna finish the lap. So through the final corner, he's lost a fair few tenths on this lap,
and
which
I do
he
see
might. All right,
droplets
it
of
is
rain.
raining.
Yep,
Yeah.
it
All right,
is.
so rain has arrived and Redstone has gone P11, which is nowhere close to his representative pace. But this means that we're not going to see any good lap times as such from the likes of Wicked Wiki, Raman, URL Pradeep, Thakurva, Kalyan, and Smith, because obviously you won't set a very good time if it dries on a wet track. Although I would like for somebody to prove me wrong.
So, but and I'm just a little bit more than surprised and the reason is there are just 13 drivers who have put in a lap time. 7 drivers are still haven't put in a lap time, so I'm not very sure what's going on there. As I'm quickly just shaking my audio settings a bit as well, so that the car
Are we
audio.
are we audible?
Yeah, we are audible. I'm just that engine sound is just a bit too high, and it's hurting my ears a bit as well. So I'll just get that lowered
I
a
think we're
bit.
supposed to share the link of the
Whoops,
channel.
whoops, a
I'll do
bit.
that. I'll do that.
Yeah, I've been a bit out of touch of the comms box, so all my standard operating procedure is gone for a toss. But nonetheless, I don't think we are going to see any improvements in qualifying, and this might just be a good time for us to probably just go through the points table in the drivers championship. And captain Sandhu and Abhishek is currently leading the championship after 10 rounds. We've got 6 more rounds to go, and he has a 16-point gap to his championship rival Abhishek, who is on pole position right now. 4 positions separating the two drive, or rather make that 5 as we speak,
Oh,
separating the two drivers.
we have a retiree of You Can Beat Me. But yeah, Captain Sandhu. I think Sid Venkatesh, where is he right now? He's P9. So I think compared to Sandhu and Abhijit, Sid has been like very alright. DR is disabled, so that is effectively the end of qualifying. Sid has been on a bit of a run recently. He has picked up, was 2 wins, yeah. So this season, and he's been very consistent. And I think that he's the silent killer in all of this.
Yep, he is,
He'll
and
be
it's
there
just
thereabouts. He won't do too much, but he will get the points when necessary. That's a very
yep.
smart way to play
This
the
30
championship.
points separating the top three, so that's and it's pretty much you have 6 races to go, and anything can happen in a race. And I'm not sure why Abhishek has come out on a hot lap, out lap right now, and he won't be able to make it to the line, which will
He
cause
is on
the
fresh
AI to
tires as
take
well.
control of his car. I hope nobody
Yeah,
comes.
Rev King is on a lap which he has had to abort
What?
because he has
Yes,
spun.
fun. I think this not there's
Captain
not.
Sandhu as well on a lap. I think they weren't able to judge it to perfection, but someone who I really feel for, well, a couple of people I feel for is Redstone, Ramen, Wicked Vicky, and maybe also Thakurva, because none of them were able to get a representative lap time on the board, which is representative of their pace. We have the only driver left to cross the line would be Captain Sandhu and also Spandan. Spandan is going to come into the pits, all right.
So an
Captain
interesting, a,
Sandhu,
fu-
yeah.
a fun fact, Chips. So your championship, drivers' championship standings, you have the Mercedes followed by the Ferrari, followed by the Haas. And when you talk about constructors, it's right the other way around. It's Haas leading the constructors from the Ferrari and then followed by the Mercedes. So the Haas boys are really showing a good team game here, and right now in
Yes.
P11 and P9 that is. So just starting the race one behind the other. So let's see what kind of results they kind of put in on this race. As now we finally come to the end of qualifying.
And well, I would have liked to say it was an interesting session, but obviously we didn't see a whole lot of action. But well done from Rev King, P3, right in the mix there.
Yep,
And I didn't really
Abhishek's
catch
and
this. I've
Oxidize.
just spotted it's
Yep,
Smith
just give me
putting in
give
a
me
very
these
good lap.
30 seconds. Yeah, by the time we run through this grid, 20 seconds to go.
Yeah.
Ferrari and McLaren as usually occupying the front rows. Rev King with a solid P3. Smith Shah putting in a good time P4. Hershey, Captain Sandhu, Shrikant Das. You can beat me. Sid Venkatesh and Spandan rounding up to the top 10. SSN, Redstone, URL Pradeep, Raman and Swagboy the other drivers to put in a time while Wicked Vicky, Thakurva, Ace, Kalyan, and Abdul not having put in any time. So it's just so many drivers not putting a time, which just makes me wonder: is there a transitioning or a wet start to the race where they just want to be a little careful and avoid their car so that they do not get collected? It because it's a fairly decent run down turn one, but turn two and turn three come real quick, and you can see drivers
All
going
right.
wide and setting their line. But it is fairly pretty sunny, so it is a dry start here, and I believe the formation lap is on. Hopefully, it could give me some
I
time
hope
as well.
so. So just want to bring up the Constructors' Championship as you had said. So Haas are in the lead, but by just 8 points. So
Yep,
followed by Ferrari and Mercedes are P3, about 29 points back. So that is roughly the same gap that Captain Sandhu and Sid have. Captain Sandhu Sid separated by 27 points. So it's Haas,
all to
Mercedes,
play
and
for.
Ferrari at the top. Yeah,
Yep, and all to play for. Indeed, let's see what.
most certainly.
And six races to go, so that's quite a lot of points. So if you see
Uh, we do have a formation lap, and I see people. Is that Oxidize on the hards? Yeah,
yes,
that
he
is.
is.
Alright, let's just go through the tires for once. Alright, no one's gone for the soft tire gamble. We have Abhishets, Hershey, Captain Sandhu, You Can Beat Me, Ramen Swag by Wicked Wiki, and Kalyan on the medium tires. Everybody else has chosen the
Yep.
hard tires.
Interestingly, more than 50% of the grid is on the hard. So choosing the alternate strategy there. And Chips,
Yeah.
I'm just going to take this give me a minute before I just come back, and while you can just take our audience through.
Alright, so I'll just do that. Just going through everyone's onboards, and I think it'll be interesting to watch out for the likes of, say, Wicked Wiki, Swagboy, and Ramen, because they are three medium runners who are blocked off by a wall of hard runners ahead and behind them. But yeah, as I can see right now, we are getting the predictive pit stop strategy: hards to mediums and hards to mediums and softs. So, well, we could expect at least one safety car over here. Oh, we have two. Oh no. Two people have been disqualified, Smith and Hershey. Well, that won't do them any wonders. Most certainly not for their tire temps and their race starts. But yeah, as of now, I can see everybody else going along smoothly. We are gonna see a few people struggle and a few people excel at race starts. But I don't expect the hard tire runners to have a horrible time at the race start. For whatever reason, I just feel like the hards will match up to the mediums.
Yeah, let's keep an eye out on P4, P5 and P6. What kind of start they have and what start does Abhishek have.
P4 have been disqualified. Sidvi!
And that's going to be a cold tire. Yep.
And that is Spandan off track. Spandan has generally not had a very good time. Or why is he pushing so much? Well, that's one way to warm the tires, Spandan, but that won't do your tire wear any wonders.
Right. Abhishek's almost right there. Almost lining his car
reached
up.
His box, and Abdul is last of the cars here, and he's obviously he can't do much. He has to stay in formation. We have Rev King disqualified. We have quite a few people disqualified, which is surprising. I hope to see not too many more disqualified. Interesting will be, alright, just on board with Thakurva there, a bit too close to Wicked Wiki. Did he break? Not sure, but interesting to see will be the McLaren versus Ferrari battle at the front and in the midfield, because Redstone and Thakurva are also going to be battling at some point. We have disqualifications in there, but the last car is on the grid. Would you like to take the start, or should I do so?
Yep, I'll go through it as we have 5 lights there, and it's lights out and away we go. Abhishek gets a brilliant start on those medium tires. So does Hershey and the Mercedes. The medium runners getting the best of the start. Captain Sandhu has already made up a couple of positions. And what's happening behind? There's a lot of cars going wide. A lot of Baji. And there's a spinner in the form of Spandan, the gamer. I'm not sure if he got tagged, but there are a lot of cars in the midfield battling for positions. Has got down the inside on the Alpine. Tries to look for a move on Shrikant Das, but Shrikant Das has to take the escape route. Very respectful of him to take the escape route, completely not being mindful of the drive. Other fast drivers behind as Oxidized Rage has had a moment through the sweeping right-hander, and he finds himself at the back of the grid. So not the best of those starts on the hard tires. A lot of runners, while Rev King has still held up to his P3, but he's hot on Captain Sandhu, who has made the most of his medium tires. But look at Abhishek. He has pulled out a 2.5 second gap in the first couple of sectors, and the Red Bull and the Aston Martin of Revkin and Hershey very close to each other. Hershey looks to make a move, but Revkin says nothing doing there, as there are a few positions being switched.
Very close, and Swag and Thakur make contact. Swag barges his way through up ahead, and he's got past Shrikant somehow. But yeah, further back, there's chaos going on everywhere. And we had Kalyan almost going into the back of Thakurva there. But Thakurva and Shrikant are very close. They were very close throughout the sweeping right-hander as well. But it has been a disaster start for the McLaren boys as Shrikant Das dives into the pits. I think he has damage. I think he was missing an end plate. We have quite a few people in the pits.
And the Aston Martin of You Can Beat Me is also in the pits there, and URL Pradeep also not having a great time there. He was battling Smith Shah, and he's now finds himself down in P18. So I think if he also probably had a moment somewhere, and front wing changes for these drivers.
Abdul is being overtaken by Spandan, who's gonna send one down the inside. He's gonna get ahead even before they reach the corner. So that was a well-timed move if that was what he was going for. But Abdul and Wicked Wiki has been tagged by Oxidize.
Oh, not the best of moments.
Oh no!
Oh,
And
oxidized.
Oxidize having a dismal time at the end of sector 1. He had that spin obviously
While
and is now
Hershey has
relegated to the back.
just made a move down on at the end of back straight on going down the inside of the Red Bull of Rev King, but Rev King has got a better
Hot
run
on the
through
heels.
the exit of that corner. What happens in this fast sweeping right hander is what we're about to find out. Does he look down the inside? No, he still isn't.
Oh,
Both the drivers taking different lines. Rev King thinks about it for a moment but has to back off from there, and he knows he's on the hard tires. He's got a long race to go. He needs to play it tactfully while Abhishek is still maintaining that 2.5 second gap. So Captain Sandhu is not making a lot of inroads onto him right now, as Ramen is
Rev
also
King.
hot on the back of the Haas. And does he get a better drive in those mediums as against the Haas? Yes, he
Seems so.
does. He's almost getting the slipstream of that car in front, pulls to the right, defending the middle of the track is SSN, but is he going? He sends down the outside and taking the advantage of that medium tire, but being on the racing line with the most grip, the Haas has got that drive now, still wheel to wheel through these tricky left and right handers. Great driving between these two drivers. As a
Swag.
bit, the Williams of Swagby also wants to get involved in this battle. He's trying to make Shah and Redstone. And there is a spinner of Spandan. I think
Yellow
it
flag
was
of
Spandan.
Oxidize.
Oh, there was a spinner. It
Oxidize.
looked like Red Bull as well, who had a moment, but probably it might just be Oxidized. It was fairly in the background as we
Yeah.
follow Smith, Redstone. Oh, yeah, Spandan is right behind them. So, yep. So, there's a 5 car
Yeah.
battle for P12 right now, or rather, make it P11 and a 6 car battle. So, we'll keep an eye out on this battle as what's happening up front.
But
Hershey is
let's
still
go
maintaining
onward with
that gap to
Swag.
Captain
That
Sandhu.
was very good, and Swag has spun. I was just going to mention that it was very respectful between the likes of SSN and Raman battling all throughout that first sector. And Swag was catching up to them, but now he has dropped down to 15 as a result of that spin. Drivers are not having a very good time. There's a big bunch up. There's Smith right on Ace's gearbox, and Smith gets a much better run, but then has a bit of wheel spin, which is not going to give him any. He's not going to do him much good, but he's still, with the help of DRS, has tremendous straight line speed, and he gets past Ace. So that's a good move. Smith is up into P10, and further back, Redstone will be looking to make inroads as well. Ace on next on his hit list. Let's go on board with Redstone, who is looking to make a move. Ace is not going to make it easy. Obviously, he's not going to just move out of the way. And you can just see how much he's being held up by the Alfa Romeo. And further, just behind him is Spandan, who is almost on his gearbox. But yeah, Redstone so damn close to Ace, and onto the back straight, Mistral back straight, and with DRS, I think this is going to be a straightforward move. Surprisingly, Ace does not have DRS, so he's really dropping off quite rapidly. And Redstone makes the move. Further back, is anybody else going to make a move? Spandan, no, not on this occasion. Smith right behind Kalyan, who is squirming around. I don't think he's having a very good time with his car's rear end. SSN right on the back of Raman as well. But anybody gonna make a move? This is Abdul trying to make a move on Spandan, which does not materialize. But Spandan making a
There
move on
is a
Ace.
yellow
We have a
flag
yellow
for
flag
the
for
Alfa
Alpha.
Romeo of
Shrikant.
Srikant Das, I believe so, and a moment again
That
on
is
those
unfortunate. And
medium
Spandan
tires.
going onto the curbing there. Further up ahead, Smith is very close to Kalyan. Smith could well make the move on Kalyan down the main straight. Same place where he made the move on Ace last lap, and that was a bit of dicey braking by Kalyan there. Smith had to take evasive action. On board with him right now as he gets a good exit, DRS open, and I don't think Kalyan will have much to defend with. And sensibly so, Kalyan doesn't put up too much of a fight, and he relegates himself to P10 and promotes Smith into P9. Smith making moves
Yep,
after
Smith,
a poor start. He did start P5, P6, I think it was.
and he's got a really fast Redstone behind him who's already made the move on Kalyan Verma, and he has also Kalyan Verma losing 2 positions in just a few corners there, so he's not having the best of rides on those medium tires, while Redstone and Smith have made the most of their hard tires. While We
Well,
are still far away from the crossover as Spandan is also pretty close to Ace and he pulls down the inside. Is he looking for a move? He does look for a moment, but he chooses to back
oh,
off.
getting so
Almost close
close.
to the res of the Alfa Romeo, but is he able to get that exit out? Let's keep
I think he
following through
will
because I think he
because
has his red light flashing, so not a lot of battery to contend with. But is he going to take a peek down the inside? Are they following different lines? Oh, not
yeah, he played
really.
it safe.
Yep, and plus Ace also
Oh,
positioning his car beautifully there and not
well done by
there
both of
is.
them. And Kalyan ahead of them is still, I think, within touching distance of Redstone. No, he's outside Redstone DRS. So, impressive move by Redstone. He got held up by Ace a fair bit the last lap, so he made the move right away on Kalyan. And Kalyan,
Oh,
speaking of whom, just goes very deep. And
he does.
Spandan makes a move on Ace, whose exit was compromised further back. Wicked Vicky also makes a move on Abdul. This is a few positions have been changed around, but I think Swagboy just got a penalty. I'm not able to follow too much. Ace taking well his liberties with the track limits there. I saw him cut the corner. I don't know if it was lag.
Yeah,
I'm not going to
probably.
say too much. But Spandan on Kalyan. Kalyan is, I think he's maybe struggling with temps because well his lines are a bit off. So it is sensible to expect temp issues. But yeah, Spandan getting a better drive out of that corner and a better exit down the back straight with DRS. I think it's not even going to be close to being anywhere sensible for Kalyan to try to defend that as he relegated to P12 and Ace coming very rapid as well. Shrikant gets a penalty. Kalyan still holds on to P12 for now, but Ace is right behind and Wicked Vicky runs into the back of Ace. I think that was just too close. Interesting,
Too
but
close
Wicked
for
Vicky looking to
comfort,
make a
but
move, sending one down the inside of this fast right-hander, and he makes the move. Ace is keeping it respectful and giving him the space, but obviously, and he goes very deep into that corner. He's not going to do him any favors, and Abdul has to take evasive action as a result of that. But Ace has lost a position to Wicked Vicky, and who is now set off after Kalyan Verma. So that was position trading going on over there.
yep. Sorry, Abhishek, you're
Impressive.
not going to get a lot of screen time because you're just running away from the pack and you have cleared 3.5 seconds while Harshi is now hot on Captain Sandhu. Still a bit away, these tires from their crossover where the mediums and hards would pretty
I think
much have the same pace, but these guys, both these drivers are definitely maintaining that pace as Rev King has also fallen back a bit. So I'm not sure if as
we have a
there's a
yellow
yellow
flag
flag for
of
the
Swagboy.
Alpine.
No,
Yep.
Williams of Swagboy.
The Williams of
Yeah.
Swagboy. Yep. That is so he's
I
not
just want to
had.
take a mention to, bring up Thakurva, who has kept it clean at the start, and well, he's now into P8, and oh no! Oh, I think there's never a better example of a commentator's curse. Thakurva,
Oh,
sorry. Oh my, I was just gonna mention how good of a start he got and what his positioning was, and oh, we have Wicked Vicky getting past Kalyan. Thakur was up into P8, chasing down SSN, and entering the back straight. He had a moment and well lost his car.
but although the midfield, the front runners have
Ace and Abdul, very close. Abdul
whistled
looking to
away.
make a move on Ace. Ace, I think, just has enough to defend. Right now, we have a yellow flag for Swag yet again. I think it is. Yeah, he's the last car. He is a few more spins and he's going to be lapped by Abhishek, which is going to be well disastrous for his race. Kalyan getting a penalty while in his pursuit of Wicked Vicky. But alright, we have another yellow flag. So Swag, well, I think he does want to get lapped. I think.
Thakurva doesn't have
obviously
a
without
front wing. Yep, he is going to.
What do you think he's going to do?
He
Soft
should
tires?
be going back to the pitch on probably a set of mediums, still on a set of mediums, and hope for a safety car to come and,
But
or maybe yeah, a soft tire and then hope for a safety car which can take him. He can go on a set of mediums until the end of the race. But coming down to the back straight, Harshi,
Hershey,
would he be able to move
yeah.
under half a second? Is the gap
We
between the
have
two? DRS wide open for Hershey. He's
Swag.
he's closing in, but that corner just comes
too far
into
back.
a bit too early before him to make a move.
Yeah.
Captain Sandhu probably running a
Yellow
fairly
flag
nice
of
setup
Redstone.
he has
Oh no, Redstone, and well,
that
that's not going to do him any favors.
that
Most
sweeping
certainly, we have yellow
right-hander
flag
is
for
oh, and there's a spinner of Swagboy and he is getting lapped. There he goes. As the
Yeah,
passes
that's it.
the car.
His
Abhishek,
race is
that's your screen time of lapping a
Hershey.
car in 8 laps in. So kudos to you for
Ace gets
keeping
a
your.
penalty. Hershey. Just look at Hershey's lines compared to Sandhu. Hershey is really pushing the limits here, and look how close he gets to Sandhu every now and then. But obviously, his tires must be heating up to some extent, having been stuck behind the Mercedes for so many laps. You have continuous yellow flags for, I think it is Swag, but I think that is going to cause some difficulty to the other drivers. It's a Red Bull and a Alpine who pass through. I think that's
Oh,
Wicked Vicky and Spandan.
Rev
Somebody
King
in the
has had a
pits, Rev
major
King.
moment. Yeah, he's lost his wing. I think now has he? Yes,
Yeah, he
yes,
has,
he
and he's
has.
to do an entire lap. That's the worst place to lose a
And
wing, and
Swag
Swag
Boy
has
has
retired
retired in the pits. I
in the
think
pits,
that. Yep.
understandably, because
Yep.
he's gonna have a bad time. And Wicked Vicky getting past Spandan, and he's gonna get the other Red Bull as well. I think down this small straight. Obviously, Rev King has nothing to defend with. He has no front wing. And Wicked Vicky, is he gonna do an? Oh, he takes his time, but Rev King moves out of the way. So respectful of him to let other competitive cars get by when he is obviously in a handicap position at the moment. But yeah, Rev King, sad for him that he'll have to do an entire lap. The only good thing is he has about half a lap left. Just over half a lap. Abdul, right on Kalyan. Abdul with DRS in the slipstream, but I think his setup is compromised. Ace further ahead of them is, well, staying where he is, not making too many inroads. Kalyan
defending the middle of the track there, Kalyan, and this
yeah,
3-car battle now from a 6-car battle,
Hershey.
and URL Pradeep is also looking to join that show and expect the McLaren of Oxidized Rage as well to join that as Pandan and Wicked Vicky. This is another battle to watch out for. These drivers have.
Oh, Abdul is off the track, but he keeps it in a straight line. Rev King moving out of the way for everyone, but I think it's getting very feisty and close between Kalyan and Abdul. Maybe there's something we're not seeing, we're not able to follow, but yeah, Rev King, is he gonna let others by? Yeah, Rev King and Abdul get way too close for comfort. Helmet Mark was not like
close.
that.
Yep, that was
But
very
all right,
close.
there's a bit of a kerfuffle going on here between the likes of Kalyan Abdul and URL Pradeep. But yeah, they're all staying in formation. They got very close at the final corner there. I just want to take a moment to mention Hershey, who might be able to make a move here. He's very close with DRS, but he's moving out of the slipstream. Why? Why is he out of the slipstream? He could be in the slipstream for a bit longer, but he's going to send one down the inside. And Sandhu is going to break supremely late. And I think actually Hershey broke way too early.
Rather.
But SSN on Ramen. SSN not going to make the move there. Well, that was impressive by Hershey, who has been in pursuit of Sandhu for a few laps. I think he must have drained his battery resources by now, as well as his tire tanks would be.
SSN is now tucked in behind Ramen, and let's see what happens through this fast right-hander. As I'm going to still stick to this battle between the two. Nothing. I think they're still holding ground there.
Oxida is making a move on Pradeep. Oxida is getting past Pradeep. So Oxida is
joining this 4, 5, 6-car battle. But he is looking for redemption. But there's 17 laps to go. And anything can happen in a race. Yeah, and he's closing in on the Alpha Tauri tremendously. And he would be really looking to make that move very soon so that he can. Though Abdul Samad, he will get the DRS, but he has no battery to contend with.
Wicked Vicky in the pits. All right, so that's the first of the medium runners to have a legitimate pit stop. Ace had a bit of a moment there, squirming with traction, but yeah, Kalyan, Abdul, and I expect Oxidize to make some moves, well, pretty rapidly. Ramen and SSN are way too close, but I think let's just focus on Oxidize for now, because that is, it's a 5-car battle, because Pradeep is also involved, so it's Ace, Kalyan, Abdul, Oxidize, and Pradeep all battling for P9. And Ace is going to be under tremendous pressure from everyone behind him. And Oxidize has a bit of a tap with Abdul.
I'm not sure that was a tap but they came very close. But that was great car control there by Oxidized Rage. I think
Abdul is so close to
the Mercedes of Kalyan
Verma is compromised.
Oh, come on, give me
nothing doing for Oxidize here. Abdul could make a move which he will not be able to because he's Well, lost time with his corner entry there.
So
SSN
Kalyan,
and Raman battling side by side through the fast right-hander, and Raman in P6. And alright, that was... These two are in a very
and Smith
intense
Shah
battle,
would
embroiled upon
also be
another.
looking to make any kind of positions that he can, as we would
Redstone gets
expect
a
one of these
10-second penalty.
drivers to get in box, dive into the pits, and probably look for that undercut. Let's see, does
Sandhu and
anyone
Hashi
drive?
both pit at the
Oh,
same
oh,
time.
Ramen, that I'm not sure if that was a pit lane cut, but it came fairly close to comfort on the stream. You're lucky you were on. It was
Uh,
on broadcast, but let's see. I hope there's no damage done to you from there.
didn't
As
catch that.
URL
But yeah,
Pradeep,
Smith. Alright,
URL
a fair
Pradeep.
few cars are pitting. Kalyan... Well, I just want to mention Hershey and Sandhu pitted on the same lap, so
Oh damn!
well, that is good strategy by them.
As Oxidize
Good
has
strategy by
made his
Hershey at least.
move past Abdul Samad now, he would be hunting down Ace and looking to make that move down this back straight. As going back to the battle between the Haas and the
Smith,
AlphaTauri, Smith is
yeah.
fairly pretty close,
Redstone's
but
retired in the pits. Alright. He's had enough.
he's had enough of
I
this
think,
race. Not,
understandably, his race was going perilously bad.
but does Smith get
But
a
Smith,
brilliant exit out? No, he doesn't. SSN gets that better exit out of the two drivers, and
Hershey gets a penalty. That is not going to help him. Well, he's been pushing his luck with track limits a bit too much, and he's got himself a 3-sec penalty, which... Let's see how badly it affects him. Abhishek's are race leaders in the pits.
But
Alright,
just,
at last, something to mention Abhishek's.
Captain Sandhu and Hershey, they both
might
boxed
get
on the. They both boxed in the same lap. I mean, if they
Yeah,
are
they
your
did, I
rival,
mentioned
they
that.
probably should one of
No, I
them
think it's
gone for the
sensible
undercut
because...
or overcut? No.
I don't think so. The overcut is a bit dicey over here. I think as we saw in 2021 with Verstappen, how he was able to, well, pit and then catch up. So I don't think the overcut is particularly good around here, but yeah, I think as Abhishek has lost some time, you will have
And
better tire life, but I think the DRS advantage and the pace advantage you get is
and
too
the
much to lose.
Haas
And Sandhu
boys,
gets a penalty.
that
Alright,
just
so Sandhu Hershey are on level ground
neutralizes the
right now.
yep, it just neutralizes the equation between P6 and P7. Meanwhile, the Haas boys
Smith,
are in the top two, and the gap that they have
but
is
Smith
pretty
could
much.
change that party right now as he is gonna go down the inside of SSN at the chicane. SSN keeping it respectful, and Smith is up into P2. So that was a late, aggressive yet well-made move by Smith to get past SSN after chasing him for about two and a half laps. So well done to Smith. He was following SSN and I think it was Rev King for a
Yep,
few
it
laps,
was.
but
Yep,
yeah, these at last Smith is up into P2. He has
as there's a
broken
yellow
the
flag,
Haas train for a Kalyan Verma. All right,
stray flag.
on
Oh, yeah,
the
Kalyan Verma it is. Yep.
just before the Mistral back straight. But yeah, Sid is gonna carry on. When do you expect the hard runners to pit? I expect
Like
around
lap
lap
16?
18-19 ish.
Uh,
Yeah.
Lap 18-19 might just go. They might just lose a lot of pace in those last couple of laps. I believe lap 16 should be a good lap for them
However,
to
just
pit, and
alright. I don't want
even
to say what I
the
want to say.
Haas boys can do the double stack as well. 8 seconds separating the two.
They can.
So yep, and so there's
Yeah.
not going to be any much of a time loss, as there
Spandan
are.
and Sandhu. And
Yep.
Spandan lost a place to Sandhu. There is something I want to mention, but I don't think I should because commentator's curse is going pretty handy here. Case in point with Thakurva. Spandan on those old hard tires is, well, he's there or thereabouts, not having a very good time, but he is holding on. Hershey might just get past Spandan on this lap
And
down the
has
back straight with
and the
DRS.
Mercedes
You think
has
so?
the red light flashing,
Yeah.
so I don't know how
But
much
Mercedes,
battery
yeah,
has.
exactly. So, but Hershey, look at Hershey. He's gonna make the move, and Spandan himself is not in too bad of a position.
Is it
He's
going to
gonna
be
make a move.
three-way?
Sandhu is gonna get destroyed, I think. Entering the chicane, he makes slight contact with Spandan, but they get past without any issue. And Hershey is past. So I don't think Captain Sandhu, well, managed his battery too well over there because obviously he's been nearly overtaken by 2 cars, but more importantly, his rival, who throughout the half of this race, Hershey, has got past him. So
Yep. And
Pradeep
his
and
championship
Abdul Samad are
rival
battling.
is also
Yeah.
3.8 seconds behind. So that's pretty much a very even pit stop for all these three drivers. Let's see if the
Uh,
front runners can make, or was it? I
Ace
think,
gets a
what, did he pull a
penalty.
gap of 5 seconds? I'm not very sure if Abhishek was able to pull a gap of 5 seconds in the first stint, and
Yeah,
if
I don't think you're
they
following too
pulled
much.
a bit.
Abdul and Pradeep are in a incredible battle, and as at the moment Abdul is ahead. But yeah, these two have also been jockeying for position for for many laps at this point. Uh, Anybody else? I think Spandan, and Spandan has spun and he has reset to track.
Oh, Spandan,
I
that's
was just
not the
wondering
best.
how he got back on the tarmac so fast. Then I put two and two together. So Spandan, we're gonna be visiting the steward's office, I think, very soon.
Meanwhile, Captain Sandhu should just, now he has no threat behind. He should just hold on for a few laps, just conserve his battery, get that battery back,
Shrikant
and
gets a penalty.
plan his attack in a
Raman
few
gets a penalty.
5 or 6 odd
Look at that.
laps.
Yeah. Do you think that's sensible? If he can say, for instance, stay within Hershey's DRS window,
Yep,
I
I
think
think
that is more sensible.
yep, it is, and he
Somebody
should probably look
spun.
for a move in the last few laps where you need to
Which he
play those
should be able
mind
to do.
games with the other driver and
I want to mention that Hershey is at points closing into Abhishek's, and Shrikant Das has retired in the pit lane. So that is alright. Sid
no,
is in
that
the pits,
hasn't.
so that's
That
a race
hasn't.
leader in
I
the
see a
pits.
yellow car
Smith in
and a
the pits.
safety car is out.
SSN in the pits, and that's a safety car, which is gonna play out beautifully for the top three. Abhishek's obviously stayed out, Hershey stayed out, Sandhu stayed out, Spandan is gonna pit, I believe. But that could not have been better timing for the likes of Sid, Smith, and SSN, who are all gonna go onto the medium tires because that's the only sensible way to go from here. They are gonna lose really little time uh, here, but alright, SSN had to wait for just a fraction more, but I think he's gonna be comfortably through. Oxidize is also making a pit stop. Ace, Abdul, Pradeep, everyone's gonna be making a pit stop. I think, apart from the top three, which is gonna be something to look out for in itself because, well, if everybody else behind you is on the mediums, look at the train
I,
behind Thakur,
I
or
think
you
he
can beat
probably
me.
lost his
Rev King
car
stays out.
at.
All right. So Rev King prioritizing track position over fresh tires, and he gets past Ace.
Oh, wait, it's close.
Too
Rev
close
King,
there.
yeah, too close between the two drivers.
Maybe stay. I think at such a situation, maybe it's better to stay on the left side of the track
Thakurva
as
has
opposed to the
come
right.
out on a set of softs,
All right, I have done that in the league race before, and
but for
doesn't really
12
work
laps,
out. But
yep.
provided there's another safety car, it would work out. So what I was holding on, what I
And
was not
Spandan.
mentioning was that we haven't had a safety car yet, and I
Yeah.
was afraid that the moment I mention it, we would have one. But I'm not sure exactly
It
why
did.
we have had one either. Everyone who's retired has retired in the pits. We didn't have any crashes or any debris, so no, it's FIA things. It's odd, but well, any guesses as to why we have a safety car?
I think that's what I mean. I'm wondering if Shrikant Das, he lost it at the exit of the final corner and retired at the start finish straight. That's my only possible explanation that I have in my head as to what could have caused the safety car, because retiring in the pit lane should definitely not cause a safety car.
Yeah, but knowing Codemasters, we can't be really too sure.
That only Shrikant Das would be able to throw
Yeah, I
some
think
light.
he
And
is
the
gonna
way,
be.
if I follow the comments in the chat, then it looks like he did lose it, and he's just cursing Caesar and everybody else who just wanted a safety car. But Caesar, yeah, your predictions for the top three look pretty much solid down there. They have, they are on hold hard tires, but expect those things to change because they
Okay,
sit
Kalyan
right
in the
now with not a
pits.
lot of penalties
What
and
is Kalyan trying to
medium
do?
runners there.
is gonna go on to a set of softs. So all right, so two people at the softs. That is, see, France has a penchant for high tire wear.
I'm not very sure. I don't have want to take anything away from these drivers, but they've got a lot of pace. But 9 laps around the circuit of France, which is pretty high in terms of tire degradation.
Let's see how they do.
Yep,
I
hopefully
think
they
let's just
don't
leave it
get a
up to
puncher.
fate. Yeah, it is gonna be close, but yeah.
The top three, but the
I am
top three
actually very
have
interested in Wicked
penalties.
Wiki and SSN. What is going on here between the two of them? SSN and Wicked Wiki are trading positions like they are playing a card game. That is obviously not going to help them out too much. But I
But
think that
looking at
is.
this situation, Sid is really poised to win the race. He's got no penalties
Yeah, I just
yet,
going to
and the
mention that
top
as
three,
I was. Yeah.
and so has
Top
Wicked
three on the
Wiki and
hards.
SSN. So keep an eye out on the top
And
seven.
SSN getting past Wicked Wiki yet again.
No, I think it might just
So I'm not
be
sure.
Wicked Wiki giving that position back because of the game doing
Possibly, and
its
safety cars in
thing.
this lap. So who should we be onward with? With Sid, with Sandhu, with Hershey?
So we'll go on board with Hershey, and we've got Abhishek, who's going to do the restart there. Let's see. Oops. Let's see what
I'm
kind
not
of a
very sure
restart does he
how.
have.
Yeah, I'm not sure how Abhishek has historically been at restarts, but I think he has not been too bad, not too shoddy at it. Only one I
He's
can
not been
remember is
controversial, is
Spa.
all I'll say.
Yeah.
So that's that's
Let's go
also
on with
something you
Hershey.
need to really
So
be mindful when it comes to safety car
Abhishek's
restarts.
taking
But
his time. Hershey is way too
very
close at the
close, and
moment. It
Abhishek
is
has
going to be very
gone.
close,
He
but
has gone. He
yeah,
doesn't
that
want to
is
wait for that final corner,
caught by
and
surprise.
but Hershey is
Oh, we
getting
have
back.
places being traded for the back. But yeah, Abhishek has got, he's bolted away. Sid, Smith and SSN are now going to be, they have a task to do, and that's to get past the top three and themselves become the top three. But let's see how they do in that endeavor. And SSN goes very deep into that corner. He's going to be under threat by Wicked Wiki, who's on old hard tires but is still competitive. And right there, You Can Beat Me and Thakurva are embroiled in a battle of their own further back, and You Can Beat Me still holds on to P15 for now. But Hershey is staying there or thereabouts. He is closing up slightly on Abhishek. So Abhishek, for the first time since I think the race start, is under legitimate threat from the driver behind him. Because apart from that, he
and remember
was.
the top three on the same compound. So these, while and
Abhishek has a bit of a slide there, which I think
in
shows
white
how much he's
Hershey.
trying to push. He's lost a lot of time. I just want to mention how far back Sandhu has fallen. He's fallen
Yep.
like 1.3. So
I
Wicked
was
Wiki
just
has
saying
had a
that.
moment and is tumbling down the order. So, well, that's not going to do him any favors. But
And
that's certainly
both
going
the
to
Red
warm up
Bulls
his
going
tires.
together. What is happening around are those Red Bulls? Oh, the Red Bulls come
And
together.
Spandan!
Oh, the two Red Bulls make
Helmut
contact and
Marko, Christian Horner will all be
oh,
very
and the
pissed.
Alpha
But You
Tauri
Can
of
Beat Me
Abdul
and
Samad
Spandan.
also runs
Ace,
fairly
Rev
wide.
King,
But
Rev
look at
King and Ace. Oh, this is getting very chaotic. I just want to mention that Hershey further up ahead is still staying within touching distance. Abdul could be making a move on Rev King. I'm not sure what happened between the two Red Bulls. I'm not following that. And Rev King goes into the pits. I think we're gonna, and he gets a penalty for speeding the pit lane. We have a yellow flag for who is that? And there's a lot of chaos going on here. You Can Beat Me, I believe, has broken some of his front wing. Yeah, he doesn't have an end plate. Kalyan Verma, Wicked Wiki are side by side down the main straight. They're gonna both be. It's 3 wide down the main straight, and it is Kalyan Verma getting out on top, and You Can Beat Me being cut off by Wicked Wiki there. But that was some utter chaos. At the final corner between the likes of Thakurva, You Can Beat Me, Kalyan Marma, Wicked Wiki, Pradeep, and well, that's it. We don't need too many other drivers for the chaos to ensue. But Sid up ahead is well, he is now closing up to Sandhu. Sandhu himself has closed up to Hershey,
but
and Hershey
Oxidized
has
Rage
fallen back.
is right at the back of the Alpine driver. I think that's Ramen who is getting
he is.
under attack. And but Oxidized,
Oh, he
you
gets
need to
so close.
oh, Oxidized, you need to
So
focus on a
close, but
better exit than just coming really close
yeah,
to the driver. But definitely
I
he's
think
going to live to fight another few laps, and he's going to get that position, as we'll expect to see DRS also enabled. But the good thing is that these drivers are fairly close to each other, but Abhishek has pulled off from Hershey,
Smith
it's
is
still
very close to
probably
Sid.
close to a second.
Yeah. Yeah, I expect Sid to be making a move. Sid and Smith both to be making a move any times now, because well, they are running out of laps and they will eventually run out of tire life as well. So well,
I'm not
tire
sure if
pace rather.
tire is much of a problem, but
Abhishek's fastest lap.
at this moment, I think these drivers should also probably look at
Okay, DRS
Fundan.
enabled. This is gonna raise the
Fundan gets
stakes.
a
You can
10
meet me in the
second time
pits.
penalty. I know. Oh,
Who?
okay, no. Oh, sorry. All right. All those past messages are coming back to me. I was on full mode, but what I'm trying, I mean, I would also look at things in a very
Sandhu and
different
Harshi.
way here. Sid Venkatesh Smith in SSN can probably let for for a few laps let the top three fight and lose time
But
and
well,
probably
Abhishek is
get
pulled
caught
away.
in an incident.
Sandhu's gonna make a move on Harshi. He got overtaken by Harshi a few laps ago with DRS on this very part of the track, and he gets back pass up into P2 where he was all those laps ago. And Harshi is now relegated back to P3, and behind the Mercedes yet again, having to see Ineos on his screen. It must almost be burned into the screen at this point. But Sid, with superior grip and on fresher tires, is looking to make a move. Harshi's car is sparking around as he goes into the fast right-hander, sweeping right-hander. Sandhu and Harshi are going to be under track, and Sid gives a message of intent
Looks
to
at
Harshi there. Yeah,
takes a
poking him
peek
down the inside.
down the inside, but that
Smith
invites
and Sid
Smith
are way too
to.
close.
Way too
Oh,
close,
they
but
don't want to crash, I believe. Yeah,
yeah,
they do. They
definitely in the
won't. I
same,
think that's
probably in the
good
same
respect
party
shown.
chat, these drivers. But Ramen is still holding
Possible.
back on
On Hershey,
on
sorry, on
Oxidize,
Oxidize.
and Abdul Samad also made a move on
And
Ace
Sandhu
in the
gets a
final
bad
corner.
exit out of the final corner, but Hershey cannot do much to capitalize on
But
it because he
look
himself
at
did
this.
not get a good exit.
Spandan is really close to Ace. Ace has a
Smith
major
and
moment.
Sid!
He loses his car at that
Smith
exit.
and Sid are side by side, and
And
yeah, somebody's had a moment further back. There's a yellow flag, and Smith is past Sid up into P4. So Smith is now going to be leading the charge for the medium runners, as Hershey is right behind Sandhu. So these two are, I think, likely just going to be trading places on the back Mistral straight. On and
it's
on, but up ahead, Abhishek is just rapid. He has pulled a lead of 2.5 seconds, and Hershey looking to make a move on Sandhu with DRS. Is it going to be possible? Rev King fastest lap on softs, but it's little consolation for when he could have got points. Hershey is gonna maybe send one down the inside. No, he decides to back off. Smith also backs off. Sid has to take some evasive action. I think everybody had to take evasive action, but look at the exit Smith got. He is right on the back of Hershey.
but
Oxford is getting past Raman meanwhile, so well done to
yep.
him. After a few laps of pursuit, he has got past. Smith on Hershey. Is it going to be the lap where he makes the move? I don't think so. Raman getting back past Oxidize.
Oh, Oxidize
And
has
Oxidize has a spin. And Smith sending one down
reset
the
to
inside of Hershey,
track.
the side by side. And this is going to be very close. But yeah, Smith and Hershey's retained positions for now. But Smith has such superior grip. And he's going to send one. This is so close. They almost make contact, but they keep it on track and out of harm's way. And Smith is still in P4 behind Hershey, but well, I think this just goes to show that the hard tires are not really being very helpful to the Aston Martin Hershey right now, who is under threat and is going to be overtaken by Smith, who's going to send one around the outside. Hershey, is he going to defend it? Is he going to be late braking side by side into turn one? They make slight contact, but Hershey is now down into P4. Smith is now into P3. Gonna chase after Captain Sandhu now, and Sid Venkatesh is also gonna make a move. The two Haas boys staying in formation and staying clean. Oxidize has retired in the pit lane, so that is not gonna be an issue for anybody else. This is getting alright. I won't say that. I'll wait for a few more laps to say that. But I want to say, but Smith on Sandhu, I think that's understandable what I want to say. Pradeep gets a penalty, and
I hope you have your.
Close. Hershey might make a move. Hershey is not going to be able to make a move. Smith, well, his entry was a bit compromised, but I think his exit was very good because he's now close to Sandhu, but he has a bit of wheel spin and he has fallen back. Refking gets another penalty.
But meanwhile, the Haas of Sid Venkatesh has got a brilliant exit on those medium tires, side by side across the fast right-hander. But Sid decides to back out and
he's gonna but he's keeping Hershey honest. That is very impressive.
And all that will do is that is just going to help his cause, because all this wheel to wheel might just get
But
Aston Martin away from the DRS of the AlphaTauri or Smith, and that might just invite Sid to make an easy overtake, which is not the case on this lap right now. But keep an eye on this race,
but
ladies and gentlemen. I hope you have your drinks as well on your hand, because this is going to get really feisty for the next few laps as the medium runners are now on more charge. And can the Haas boys get? They know they have a lot of penalties. The drivers ahead have a lot of penalties, so they need to be mindful and don't want to rather take a lot of risks. Meanwhile,
look at
we'll
Smith. Look
come
at
back.
Smith on Captain Sandhu. Smith might just make the move on this lap. He is so close to Sandhu. He got very close at the end of sector 1 there. And with DRS, I think it's going to be a straightforward move. But Sandhu has been keeping Hershey at bay for a lot of laps. Spandan and Abdul are in a tight tussle, and Spandan has gone off track, and Abdul is now passed and up into
Oh,
P8.
meanwhile, wheel
Sid
to
Venkatesh getting
wheel.
past and Hershey getting
Oh,
back past.
no,
That
Harsh,
is
a
chaotic.
lunge, an audacious lunge down the
But
inside of
Sid
the
is gonna
Haas, but
stay
Sid
there. He
getting the
almost
better
bang wheels.
exit. Yep, he got
Yeah.
the better exit there. I think.
Oh, this is so close. I just want to take this moment to mention that within, say, the next 2 or 3 laps, the sheer advantage
And
that the medium runners have will also disappear, kind of. Thakur has joined back, so good for him,
Sid,
but he's lost a lot of
Sid has
places.
had to
In the
just
process, Sid.
go
Yeah.
off the track, and I think he might have just gotten a track limit warning. So Sid, as much as he wants to make a move here, he needs to be mindful that he doesn't accumulate
Sid.
any kind of penalty
Sorry,
there.
Sid, Smith.
And
Smith on Hershey, but
yes, he
Sandhu is just
is.
getting phenomenal
And so
exits.
is Sid, and this
Sid.
one should be an easy move. Both the red lights flashing, but Sid has the DRS advantage way before the braking zone. The move has been made,
And
but now
I
this is
just want
going
to
to be a
mention that.
chase. Another
Oh, Hershey
there are
getting
a lot.
back on Sid. He got the switch back, and Sid is now. They're gonna go side by side into this section, and here's
Oh,
Sid taps
contact!
Hershey. Hershey has been spun. That was a very disastrous end to what was otherwise a very respectful battle. So very commiserations to Hershey, who is now going to be threat from Raman, but Hershey from P2 has now, in a matter of few laps, fallen to P6. So certainly that was that. I think that's going to be looked at by the stewards between Sid
So
and Hershey.
both the Alpha
I'm
Tauris
not
on
very
more
sure.
charge right now. So there's another battle in the midfield between the Alpine Red Bull and the Alpha Tauri. Spandan takes a peek down the inside of Wicket Vicky. I think that is what is the case. Yeah,
But
or that
Spandan
is
on
Raman.
Raman,
That is Raman.
yeah.
So I
So
didn't have
he
my.
could, yeah. Well, they're all very close. Even Wicket Vicky is just 2 places back. Spandan had a bit of a weird
But
moment there. I think that was
Smith
just.
now is back again on.
He has been stuck behind Sandhu for a few laps. I think this is
He
why I
needs
think the Sandhu syndrome around France. He was able to keep Hershey at bay for so many laps. He was only overtaken when I believe it was
But now
Red Bull who in the way.
he
You
needs to
can
really
get
line
some
his
penalty.
exit up. He really needs to line. But Sandhu somehow gets a
I think
brilliant
he
drive
can
out of
wait
the
for the
final
back straight.
corner. And he can. He is closing in. And yeah, this start finish straight is not as long as the back straight would be. Smith breaks just a fraction
Smith,
late, gets that bit of grip. Yes, he has closed in, but that gap is still pretty much constant as it was at the start finish straight. Let's see what
Spandan
happens at the
on
back
Raman.
straight now. Smith closing in now. I don't want to get away from this battle because I think
Yeah.
this is
I don't think
there
it makes
is a
sense.
yellow
Ref
flag
King
as
has
Rev King
retired.
has retired at the
That's okay. That's okay. It's too late for a
exit
safety
of
car.
the start finish straight. Yep, it is probably
Yeah.
is a bit
So
too late. So
okay,
I
I want
think
to take now. I will mention that it's too late for a safety car, so I didn't want to mention it any more in advance than I would have had to. But oh, what? Sector 1,
but
Sector 2, Sector 3,
you
what's
know that's
happened?
that's just the game doing its game things. But
Alright, thank you
Smith
Codemasters for giving me a
is
slight heart attack there.
comes very close to the back
Uh,
of the Mercedes, but there's still
a
no moves
question
doing.
for
But
you.
I want to take a quick
Yeah.
look at the total accumulated penalties, and because Abhishek also has some kind of penalties, and
I would like to
3 seconds
ask you a
is
question.
yep, go for it.
Do you think that the Haas boys should trade places? See, considering, oh, we have a yellow flag for who's that? You can
Aston
be.
Martin of
Alright, so
you
who's been
can be
lapped by Abhishek at this point? No, not Abhishek, that's Thakur, sorry. Abhishek, meanwhile, is about to start his penultimate lap while the rest of the field is embroiled in a titanic battle. He is sailing out in front. without a care in the world because he has just been that far clear of the rest of the field.
Yeah,
Oh, we have
and
some
to
very
answer your
interesting
question,
chats in the interesting chats in the live
oh,
chat.
oh
But
my God.
yeah,
Yeah, we'll have
let's
those all
carry
those
on.
all that spammy things deleted. But anyway, to answer your question, I think it's just I'm assuming there are no team orders going to be there, but but
The
there might just be
yellow
a
flag
chance in the
for
last lap.
Spandan. All
And
right, Spandan's race ends in a spin. But
3.6 is
yeah,
the gap between Smith and Sid. So if Sid needs that podium spot, he really needs to up his pace. And SSN, as much as he's getting the DRS assist, I'm assuming they are have had a very comparable
Sandhu and Smith.
pace.
Smith is so close. And Smith, I think, had to, well, just take some evasive action. Smith can, at this point, just hold on. If he can just time his move to perfection and get Sandhu
But
on the back straight, that would make sure that
oh,
Sandhu cannot do anything
but
else.
there is an
And
intense three-way battle between the two Alpines and one AlphaTauri. They're almost three wide. There was a bit
Abdul,
of argy
oh
bargy
my,
there
my, my.
between the drivers.
And the other
All
Alpine of Wicked Vicky is gonna send one down the inside. Abdul, could is he gonna defend? Well, they are all so close, but now the two Alpines are in formation at their home Grand Prix. They're gonna be P7, P8 at the moment, but obviously they have both have penalty. No, sorry, Wicked
my
Vicky doesn't have a penalty, but that was aggressive by both the Alpine boys, and it is the final lap.
coming back to
And
Smith,
at this
no
point,
moves doing
this is
here.
Smith's
So
last chance.
yep, it is, and his red light isn't flashing if I'm not mistaken.
So
So
I
this
expect
is
at this point Smith to just make a plate safe, play it smart, and get a good exit down the back straight. Where he look at Sandhu, he lost traction there. This is going to be key for Smith. He just needs to capitalize on this, get a good exit out of this corner, which he was somewhat able to do. Not exactly the best of exits, but still much better. He needs to just dump his ERS here with DRS wide open. He's gonna be in the slipstream. Is he gonna break late? This is his last chance. What's he gonna do? He does break late and he does a
it
switchback,
looks
but they make
looks
contact. Smith, I hope he doesn't have damage, but Smith will get superior traction out of that corner. I don't expect Sandhu to have any more battery left. For the backside, Venkatesh is still closing up, but look at Sandhu just going to the absolute edge of the track so as to get a very good entry into this corner. This sweeping right-hander. Up ahead, Abhishek says unchallenged. Wicket Vicky and Raman are trading places on the final lap. I'm not sure that the Alpine team boss will be very happy with that, giving them a bit of stress, but I don't think Smith has anything to do right now. We could see a last corner move being made by somebody who's very close back, but at the moment I think Smith is not going to be able to do anything. But
as
Abhishek,
Abhishek has
after a
now
dominant drive, is going to cross the line and
man.
win the race. He weaves around and he
Uh,
celebrates his fantastic victory at the
yep.
French Grand Prix,
Uh,
followed by Captain Sandhu. Smith, Sid, SSN are going to finish in formation. Well done to them. Raman and Wicket Vicky are so close. Raman gets a poor exit out of the final corner. This could go to the line. Wicket Vicky is getting a better run, but that is not gonna result in anything at the moment. Yeah.
Team
Spandan
battles all
after
elbows out right there between the Alpines, and they are getting a good result in formation as well. Wicket Vicky, of course, with
Spandan
no
and P8.
penalty, is going to jump as the Alfa Romeo of
Ace is gonna get to
Ace
P11,
now.
Kalyan to P12. Sid in the end was just over a second behind Smith, so impressive. I'm surprised that SSN fell back from Sid in the final lap because he was over a second behind. But we have two cars about to cross the line. The last two cars, Wicket Vicky's left the session. But wow, that was a brilliant end to the race. Chaotic as anything. And
Oh,
Yugat
and
VP has decided to give
just
the
a
wall a little visit.
yep, a stylish end to the race, as it was certainly a pretty intense race to watch and commentate on. So I hope our viewers also enjoyed the race as much as we did down here. As Chips, can you invite the podium finishers onto the party chat? Meanwhile,
Yes,
as
I
I'll
shall.
take the audience. Oops, we should have seen that podium celebration, but I'm just a bit too used to pressing X rather way too soon, as Abhishek's not a foot wrong in those 27 laps or even the qualifying session right from pole. Think almost led every lap of the race barring his pit, but a convincing drive to take the victory, followed by Captain Sandhu. So this championship battle is indeed very much poised. Smith Shah with a great podium result, a good drive and a good chase. Couldn't make the P2, but a great race from him as well. Sid Venkatesh and SSN, the Haas boys finishing in formation. These are your top five. As Harshi, Wicked Vicky, Abdul Samad, Ramen, Pradeep, Ace, and Kalyan Verma rounding up the IRL points finishing system. As Spandan, a lot of drivers with tons of penalties, 19 seconds of penalties for Spandan the gamer. You can beat me, and Thakurva, the last of the finishers. As Rev King, as much as pace was
Ah,
shown, missed out on a checkered flag, oxidized Srikanth, Redstone, and Swag Boy not having the best of nights here across circuit. Paul Ricard. All right, so that
and
was
we
a
have
fun
Smith in the
race.
party.
Yeah, hopefully this
Uh,
game lets me get out of this as well.
I don't think the game is going to be very kind to you. So we have a few people leaving. I expect that we should get the next screen soon enough. But wow, I
It,
don't expect Sandhu to join. I'm expecting to wait for Abhishek's. But would you like to start with Smith? He is here.
yep, we can. Smith, great race, great strategy worked out. I think almost no foot wrong for you as well the entire race. Take us through the qualifying, especially the transitioning condition and the later race. How was it? How did it go for you?
Hey guys, hope I'm audible to you all. But starting from qualifying, man, it was kind of bad for me because I only got one run. The first lap, I don't know why it was red throughout because I went off the track in the first or second sector. I don't know why it was red throughout. And later, when I went to the pits, I spun when I was exiting the pits. So I got only one run, and that was also half the lap on rains. So yeah, I think decent there with P4. And formation lap, I disqualified, had contact with Harshi. Man needs to drive a little bit far, I would say that on the comms right now because he drives really too close, man. But yeah, so because of that, I had a horrible, horrible start. I dropped from P4 to I guess P14 or P15, and then it was just a gradual climb from there. And yeah, it was lucky because I was talking to Mala and I was like, I hope the safety car just comes out now, and it did. So I immediately go into the pits and yeah.
Yep, right timing for the safety car as well. And you did see you making a lot of moves coming up, finding your way up the grid. So great race from you. Chips, any other questions for him?
Yeah, so I think you got, well, the safety car came out at the absolute perfect time for you. The three of you, Sid and SSN were in a very close battle. Just walk us through your final few laps and the battles with Sid and Harshi and Captain Sandhu. More so Captain Sandhu because that was very interesting to follow in the penultimate and final lap.
Oh yes, I guess after the safety car restart, of course Sid was fighting for P2 or even probably P1 because he was the only one who did not have any penalty. And after that, I saw like okay, top three, top four, everybody has penalty, and that is where I should start making moves. So yeah, I got Sid, I got Harshi, and Captain Sadhu was damn difficult. I tried in the last lap, we made slight contact. It was, I mean, it was a lovely, lovely battle. Good thing we both kept it clean that way. And he was really quick. Abhishek was super quick. So congrats to both of them. But yeah, it was great overtaking those guys.
But yeah,
Great
you were,
race and
well, you drove a very
congratulations
good
once again.
race.
Yep. And
Yeah,
has
great charge
Abhishek
up through the
joined the
field.
party?
He hasn't, but
No,
yeah, just want to say, yeah, Smith well driven. Congrats to you on the podium.
thanks, Sahil. Chips
Yep.
and
But yeah,
drive.
I assume
I
our
don't
podium
think.
top 1 2 are not going to join the party. So that's it for the stream tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you enjoyed this great show of racing around Circuit Paul Ricard. Do tune in to with us tomorrow, same time, 9:30 p.m. 9:45 p.m. IST for the Division 1 race around the same track. So hope to see you there. And until then, have a good weekend and a very good night. And last but not the least, thank you, Chips, for that great commentary and that company you gave me. It was really a race on that kept me on my toes.
And thank you to you too. It was a pleasure to commentate. I've been a week, or only been 1 week. We've not done comms, but I've still feel like an eternity. Thank you.
Cheers, cheers, and
Yes.
this is
Thank you,
adios
everyone.
from all of us.
Yes. Thank you. Good night.